Welcome to Pen Tool Photoshop. In this tutorial, I'll be pathing around the orange part of this car and then converting that into a selection and then applying that selection to a layer mask. The purpose of this is so we can change the color of this orange to some other color. So often what happens is you get briefed to change the color of something, and you can do it by using things like color range or making a mask or using just wanding and selections. But sometimes it's easier to give it to a junior staff member or just to have it pathed, and then you can work from that path. So if you try to do a selection, you might pick up things like these little indicators, or you might pick up some of the orange, or it just might not work that well. So sometimes it's better to start with a good base, which will be the path, and then you can work from there. So I'll path around this object, the orange parts, just so you can see the process, and I'll speed this footage up so it's a bit quicker, and then I'll go through the next steps. I won't go into the details of how to fix it up because it won't be perfect. The edge has a bit of a feather on it. That's a more advanced area of Photoshop, but you get the gist of the starting point, just doing the pathing, and then you build on pathing to do more advanced things in Photoshop later. That's a good habit. Just create a new path, start pathing from there. So with pathing selective areas, you have to be right on the line. So with areas like this that it bleeds up, you probably cut it off and you have to fix that up later on. So this won't be able to get the job done in one go with using a path. This is just one part of the process. The better your job you do pathing, the less you have to fix it up, and the easier it'll be when you make a selection. We're in the wrong spot, just undo straight away. So the same logic as before, I could cut out these bits as I go. So you can see they have a slight feather around them, so you know that colour's going to bleed in. It's not going to work well with the path. You're going to have to feather this area separate to maybe some other areas, but it still is a good base starting point. So that was pathing the image. Now I'll check the path. So hold down Command, click on the path, convert it to a selection, press Q, and click mask. So I can see where I've cut out all the orange parts, Command I. So I'm looking for bits that I've missed. So once I'm happy with that, I can press Q to release it again. I can go up into Select, Modify, Feather. So I might feather 1 pixel. Different feathers for different areas. So now I don't want to apply this as a mask. I don't want to cut the image out like this. What I want to do is create a folder. Put the mask on the folder. So what that means is whatever is inside this folder will affect the images below, but they're masked by this overall mask that's on the folder. So within that, there's a number of things I could do. I could make a solid color. Blue. You can see some of the areas there where it hasn't quite worked. Maybe change that to color. Yeah, but there's all sorts of ways you'd have to do this. It really depends on the image. Another option I could do is do hue and saturation. Change the color that way. Really depends on what color you're going from and to. or it might be a combination. So you might do this one, looks a little bit flat, a little bit sepia tone. You might want to bring up a curve adjustment layer. Brighten the highlights, darken 3/4 tones. So these areas here would have to be fixed up. And this is where you would use some other options. For example, might select color range, click on the orange, and change this here to grayscale. It starts to show me the look of the selection. And see what I've selected. So let's try to select the orange parts, so hit OK. Press Control Command H, that will hide the selection. So that's under View, Extras. And then with a brush, with a white brush, so I've got a brush here, white, and it's just a soft brush. Start to brush those areas back in. So just clicking. You can see the base starting point was pretty good. This is where I can do the fine tuning. You can see in this one here, it started to pick up some of the orange, some of the black. So I've tried a different process for that. So you see if I cross over that, it's painted the light. Over here, it's not too bad. So even the cast, the colour of the cast, that's what you really want to fix up for realism. But you can see it started with the path. The path gives you that really good base to start from, and then you can do something like this to fill it in. So hold down the option and click on the mask. You can see that's what the mask looks like. So that was creating a path around a selective part of the image, converting that path into a selection, applying the selection to a folder as a mask, and then inside that folder, placing in any variety of methods you would like to change the color of the object beneath. I used color range, but there's other methods you could use outside of this tutorial to then make selections to then add to this mask. So that was the original. That's what we changed it to. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.